good man. You're a good man. Great to see you.
I feel like it's just a matter of time before you become Intercontinental Champion.
You say that, right?
Sheamus, he's gone from WWE, and I thought today I would celebrate his career, and I feel that WWE did a disservice on allowing his contract to end like it did. Yes, they had every right in the world to do it, and I don't want to hear anybody saying how old Sheamus is. He's 48 years old, and currently the WWE Undisputed Champion is held by a 47-year-old in CM Punk. That's no shade on CM Punk, but don't use his age as an excuse to why we should have released Sheamus. The fact of the matter is, he had two solid stories that he could have told. A, he was chasing the Intercontinental belt.
But it's definitely an icy course for me.
And B, why not have one last feud with Gunther and have Gunther retire him?
How much does the King of the Ring mean to Sheamus? And he has to tap.
Those would have been banger after banger stories. But I digress. We're here to celebrate and not stew on what could have been. Let's go over 9 or 10 things that I just really enjoyed about Sheamus throughout his career. But first, if you want to win this belt right here, you can. You see, this is Gunther's Intercontinental title right here. Sheamus was never able to win it, but you can. Now, on other videos, I have other belts that are eligible, but only for this video is this custom belt gonna be eligible in celebration of Sheamus. Meaning, when it's all said and done, if this video is the one that I picked the winner from, you are actually able to pick this title. On no other video can you pick this title, so make sure that you are commenting and being a subscriber right this second. Don't forget to like, and you can win this Gunther custom title. It's not a toy, it's a replica, and it can be yours if this video is picked. The first thing I want to talk about is his quest for the Intercontinental title. I actually was really invested in this long story arc for the character Sheamus. I come from an era where the Intercontinental title actually main evented SummerSlam.
The new Intercontinental Champion, the British Bulldog. What a SummerSlam!
An era where the Intercontinental title was kind of sort of looked more fondly upon sometimes than the actual top title. It was the workman's title. It was the one that was held by Mr. Perfect, Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, British Bulldog, the Honky Tonk Man, the Mountie. But no, for real, I loved the Intercontinental title growing up. And then when we got to the Attitude Era, after Triple H and The Rock had a war for it at SummerSlam 98, I believe, it seemed like the Intercontinental title lost almost all of its prestige. You know, every once in a while it would gain it, but for the most part, yeah, the Intercontinental title just kind of lost its luster. Now, to be fair, The Miz actually held it with pride.
I am your Intercontinental Champion, and I swear to you, I promise you, it will be the most relevant title on SmackDown Live.
But it wasn't until we got to Gunther that it seemed like it was a big deal once again. And in this time, Sheamus started really eyeballing it.
So the one title that, you know, I was exposed to, like, as a fan, is the one I can't win. It's become this kind of like crusade.
Saying this was the one title that eluded him. And I, at some point, I don't know when it happened, but I really became invested in his quest to get that title. And this is also the reason why I hate when I hear people say, oh, we need to save this for WrestleMania. It needs to be a WrestleMania moment. Just pull the trigger and get the deed done. I wouldn't be so upset about Sheamus not being in WWE anymore if he had finished his story and won the Intercontinental title. I'll be honest with you. Yes, I would still be like, yeah, we should have probably signed that guy back, but I would have been like, at least he got all of his titles, and he made no bones about it how much he wanted that Intercontinental title. I loved that Sheamus loved that Intercontinental title as much as I did. All right, so now let's travel back to Sheamus's early career in WWE. Not his ECW stuff, but when he went to the main roster, Monday Night Raw, he instantly got into a program with Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble, you might not recognize the name, but you'd probably recognize the face. You know how WWE likes to spam their pull-apart bras? Jamie Noble is a producer, and he's usually one of the guys in the pull-apart bra trying to, well, pull it apart. Sheamus retired him. And he did it in such a weird way. Sheamus beat the guy up so bad after like 2 or 3 matches that one day the commentators was just like, yeah, Jamie Noble said he is retiring from wrestling because of Sheamus. Like, he said it's just not fun anymore. Sheamus beat this guy up so bad that they were just like, yeah, the guy just retired. I remember thinking that was just so weird how they did that, but it added to Sheamus's brutal nature. He was so different when he first came on, not like really fitting in anywhere. It was just like, he was just so brutal that he made this guy just quit. He was just like, I'm done. I'm done with wrestling whatsoever. And then what's crazier is 2 months later, he's winning the title from John Cena, Super Cena, the guy that holds down all newcomers, the guy who would never lose, the guy who just would come back from anything. And Sheamus, a 2-month on the main roster dude, beats him. Maybe it was 3 months. I don't know. He wasn't on the roster very long. And he just beats John Cena. It was a table match. He didn't pin John Cena, but at the end of the day, this dude just won. Could you imagine if Braun Breaker just won the title in the first 2 months? Or Oba Femi? They actually did that stuff back in the day. And for Sheamus to do that to John Cena, that'd be like Braun Breaker winning the title from Roman Reigns like 3 years ago. It is insane that they did that. Now, his title run, it wasn't that good, to be honest with you. But the fact is, that shock win over Cena, it was a cool moment. It brought a lot of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? You just knew you had a main event player right here. And it worked. The guy was pretty much high mid-card to main event throughout the rest of his career.
We don't just set the bar, we are the bar.
One of the most underrated tag teams in all of WWE history, I believe, is The Bar. That's Sheamus and Cesaro. It started off with these two. He's Claudio Castagnoli in AEW, by the way. That's Cesaro. But these two started off, they kind of had nothing to do, and they got into just a random match on a Monday Night Raw. And then they did it again. Mick Foley was just like, you guys are just beating the heck out of each other. They made it a best of 7, and it was kind of cool, but I didn't think it was really going to go nowhere. You could tell they had good chemistry, and then they were paired together. At first, it was a little rough, but like as time went on, they started matching more. They started doing things. For a while, it was just, they were just called Sheamus and Cesaro, but eventually they became The Bar. Then they started adding the thumbs, and then they started saying things like, we don't just raise the bar, we are the bar. I hated that they lost the tag title to, what, an 11-year-old boy?
No one, Nicholas is legal! What's he gonna do?
It really happened at WrestleMania with Braun Strowman, but like for the most part, the Bar were very much unsung heroes of the tag team division in the 2010s to 20s, because like everybody remembers the New Day. And I thank God for the New Day, and they were awesome and great, and the Usos, who were awesome and great, but I feel that the Bar, like, could go toe-to-toe with them. And I really do think that the Bar is very underrated. I very much enjoyed them. This was an instance of just throwing two random guys together that you had nothing going for, and it working.
Speaking of anger, you must admit you have some rage and anger inside you.
Sheamus is hit or miss with his comedy. I feel when Sheamus was trying to be funny, he never really was funny. However, when he was the straight man to somebody who was the comedy act, then I believe Sheamus excelled at comedy. Him and Santino Marella, they had some amazing, hilarious segments.
Sheamus was fighting for his life during that Tea Party segment.
The lip bite and everything.
Do you take your tea dark or milky? Oh.
I absolutely loved when Sheamus got to be the straight man in a comedy act, because like it just worked. For some reason, Sheamus's nature, it just like excelled, and he can take a joke. Sheamus is not so serious that he can't be the butt of a joke.
What's the most embarrassing song on your playlist?
I love Justin Bieber. I also have Baby Shark on my playlist.
This one's a little cheating because it doesn't really have anything to do with WWE, but I do like Sheamus off camera. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and it's really just refreshing hearing how he speaks on things and his perspective. I do recommend that. And also, he has a workout channel, and I don't know if it'll change now, but for the most part, it was a workout channel with a lot of WWE wrestlers, actually. They would come and show them how they train, and then Sheamus would do their workout. Sheamus's perspective on other people and how he interacts with them off of WWE camera is really interesting, and I highly recommend checking his workout channel out.
Old school calculator.
Sheamus has had a lot of feuds in his career, and honestly, a lot of them were duds. A lot of them were duds, especially during one of his world title reigns, the big gold belt, and it was like he was a babyface. I hated this babyface run of his. Did not like it at all, with the exception of a feud with the Big Show of all people. I to this day can't figure out how they got me to like a Sheamus, a babyface Sheamus versus Big Show feud, because Big Show, for the most part, has not been utilized very well in WWE throughout his career as well. I mean, no, he had a great career, but they could have done a lot more with that guy other than turning him babyface heel like 28 times and making him cry on command. He had a lot more to offer than that. So when him and Sheamus started actually feuding, like, I was not looking forward to it at all. And by then, the heavyweight title had become such a secondary title, felt more like the Intercontinental title, to tell you the truth.
Oh, man! Chair.
I think it was just their matches. It was just so hard hitting because, like, when it comes to their actual feud, I don't really remember much of it, you know, the storyline wise. But the way Sheamus could pull good matches out of big, hard hitting dudes, it was refreshing. And I think it's because Big Show and a lot of other big dudes, they're always afraid they're going to hurt somebody. Like Mark Henry, he's afraid he's going to break someone in half. Sheamus has always been like, no, come at me as hard as you can. So I think that's why Sheamus historically has been one of the best guys to get the better matches out of big, tough, and rough dudes. Because he's like, I'm going to hit you hard, so you better hit me hard too, fella. And it's like 14 years later, and I'm still... That might be Big Show's my favorite feud that the Big Show's ever had, and it was with Sheamus, and I didn't even like Sheamus at the time. Props to Sheamus and his hard-hitting style.
Oh, Beaker, I'm so glad you're here. Now, this new...
Oh, I forgot to mention one. Okay, so I admit it goes against what I said about how when Sheamus is the guy who makes the joke, it's not funny. This was like the exception. I should have turned off the TV because it was lame and stupid, but it was lame and stupid in all the good ways. So the Muppets are, you know, Kermit the Frog, the Muppets are the host GMs, the guest host GM, and Beaker is there, and Sheamus comes across them, and they look at each other, and then Sheamus acts like their family.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't make the family reunion this year.
Because, you know, of their skin tone and their hair, and it should have been stupid. It was stupid, but it was also funny. I laughed. I can't help it. To this day, I still chuckle at the absurdity of this. And just Sheamus and Beaker, you know, Sheamus doing Beaker's hair.
Perfect.
That's good stuff right there. I really liked Sheamus with the Brawling Brutes. This was kind of like, I don't know, when they kind of started teaming up, I felt like, I don't know. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it and I'm talking about Sheamus has always been a character that has had to kind of win me over. Almost every time he starts on a new path, I'm like, nah, I don't know. And sometimes it works, like him in the bar. That absolutely worked. And then sometimes it didn't. Him in the League of Nations didn't work for me. But again, when the Brawling Brutes started, I'm like, I don't know about this. Sheamus and two like lower mid-card guys. I know that's going to make a lot of people mad. Pete Dunne, he's great. He's awesome. That was my perception at the time. Two mid-card guys. Sheamus, what are we going to do here?
Sheamus, I was trying to say.
Don't watch any of that stuff.
Your theme music's still stuck in my head. What was your theme music?
Stand up if you want to get put down. I'm straight from a Dublin town.
For a long time, Sheamus's, like, the 2010s when he wasn't with Cesaro, like, it wasn't that great. He had world title runs, and they usually sucked. He's one of the few people that has pinned Roman Reigns, but even then, it was by, like, a Money in the Bank cash-in. He always had to have help. He never was really a dominant champion, and that Sheamus was just going to be... He had plateaued, right? He had plateaued. We have seen everything we were going to get from Sheamus. There was going to be nothing new. And when he became part of the Brawling Brutes, it was almost like you could see his love of wrestling be rejuvenated. Now, he didn't win any major titles during this time, but he was a joy to watch. I loved his time with the Brawling Brutes. Very, very underrated trio. I'm going to tell you my favorite right now, and then I'll end it with my second favorite because that's a little better of an ending for Sheamus, a video. But my favorite moment.
It was banger after banger after banger.
Sheamus had just come back. He had put on some weight, right? He had put on some weight, and the internet was making fun of him. And Drew McIntyre at the time, his character has kind of changed into the guy that is whining and all these things. He's starting a program with CM Punk, but CM Punk is injured, so we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with the guy. And Sheamus comes out, and he starts laying into Drew about how he's just complaining all the time. And then Drew says one of the funniest lines ever. He's like, you know, Sheamus, you used to be about banger after banger. And now you're
burger after burger after burger.
Nobody could not laugh. Even Sheamus started laughing. And it was just so good. And I loved that Sheamus never went out on the internet, crashed out on people. He took it with stride.
Did they call you back too early? Is that why the burger after burger thing happened?
No, that's on me, mate. I just kind of I lost a bit of motivation. Probably drank too many Guinness, enjoyed myself too much.
I love how real Sheamus was. How he doesn't take himself serious, how he takes responsibility, and he said that to the fans too. He's like, yeah, okay, fine, have your laughs right now, but you'll see I'm back in a couple months.
Like, he recognized where he was at, he worked hard, he knocked it right off, got in the best shape of his career.
Believe it or not, Fat Sheamus is my favorite WWE memory, but I'm going to end with this. Sheamus and his match at Clash at the Castle, and actually WrestleMania 39 as well. Him facing Gunther for the Intercontinental title, and his triple threat at WrestleMania 39, also for the Intercontinental title. Just loved this. Loved it. Again, I told you how much I respected how he loved the Intercontinental title, but him and Gunther, like I said with Big Show.
What is it about Gunther that allows you guys to bring out the best in each other?
European style, maybe?
Same with Drew McIntyre. Just three guys willing to just lay it all out. We don't have to worry about how hard we hit each other. We're all buds here. We're just going to do it. We're going to go at it. We are going to steal the show. The Clash and Castle one, I believe that was the turning point where fans started to realize and appreciate Sheamus. I'm just so happy that match exists. Go watch it. Go watch it. And then watch the follow-up WrestleMania 39, the triple threat, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther. So good. So good. I believe that one of the reasons Gunther's title reign was so good with the Intercontinental title is because of Sheamus. Because Sheamus's quest for that belt. I wish he would have won that Intercontinental title. I'm going to miss Sheamus. I'm not going to pretend he was my favorite wrestler. Never. He was never my favorite wrestler. But there were points in his career that I absolutely loved him. And there were points in his career that I was sick of seeing him on TV. Not going to lie. It happens. You know, there's ebbs and flows, especially in a career that long. But there was never once that I didn't respect him, that I felt that he was a burden, that I felt that he was not worth his money. They should have given him that contract extension so he could have won the Intercontinental title at the very least. And then end it with him going out with Gunther, putting him in a sleeper hold. You know, I don't understand. Just pay the money, get those solid stories. I know you're never going to see this video, but I do want to say, fella, that I appreciate you. I really did appreciate you, and I do feel that you were wronged in the way that you were just unceremoniously put in the alumni section of WWE. Thank you for all the memories. See ya, bye.